Hey everyone, my name is Simpzy. How you all doing? Welcome to the start of a brand new series here today on the channel. We're back on DEI, Divide et Impera, here today on the channel. We're going to be doing a new sub-modded campaign on Total War Rome 2. We're going to be playing as Massilia. The main objective of this series is to build a Hellenic France. In this alternate timeline, instead of the Romans Romanizing Gaul, I thought Massilia would be cool to bring Greek influence and culture throughout ancient Gaul. And then we might move into Britannia, Iberia, or maybe go against the Romans. So, if you like the sound of that, like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. And the sub-mod list is available to YouTube members. Alright, let's start this campaign. As we load on in.
For centuries, your people have prospered on these strange and foreign shores, trading wares and civilized ideals with the natives. War looms, however, and you must take up arms to ensure their survival. Of the nearby barbarian tribes, the Helvetii are the most belligerent. They must be watched, but beware of provoking war prematurely, as they have many allies to the east. To the west, the Volcae are vulnerable. An expansion here may gain you an Atlantic port. Such versatility will serve you well in the coming struggle for the Mediterranean. The scions of Greece are destined to rule the world. Massilia shall conquer all.
Okay guys, welcome to the campaign map. Welcome to Massilia. I've always said Massalia. I think that's what they said in one of the Rome 2 trailers. So, we're located on the far western part of the Mediterranean coast. We're in the modern day, well, present day French city of Marseille, which is really cool. So we want to try and build up this ancient Greek colony. We don't have any Greeks nearby us. We've got the Ligurians in Genoa, some barbarian tribes. We've got Hellenic and Gaulish tribes around us as well. So I think we want to try and upgrade Massilia itself, and we want to try and look to take Narbo and Tolosa as quickly as possible. We might look diplomacy-wise to make non-aggression pacts and just try and keep amicable relations with various Celtiberian and potentially the Romans, but we'll just have to see how we go. But the main objective of this series is to build up our little Greek colony, spread Greek culture, language and customs through France, essentially. I think that would be quite cool. So we'll just try and get my uncle married off so our family tree can grow. We're currently a republic at the moment. The inland traders, the Italian traders, and the populists are all various political entities that we'll need to overall keep an eye on. Zenon is our faction leader, along with Theo. And, okay, so Narbo has a king, which we'll have to deal with in a moment. Alright, let's end the turn and continue. I'll try edit down the end turns in the editing process just to speed things up. We've encountered Syracuse and the Dorsii. Okay, let's look to try and get some more mercenaries, because we are generating a huge amount of cash, as we are quite the trade hub here on the coast. Massilia is a fantastic city. It's so built and big up. It's probably the biggest city in and around southern France and Italy at this point in time. The Romans will want to try and conquer it quickly. Alright, let's get a governor in to help us get those additional agent bonuses, as we want to try and beef up our already significant trading hub. We could probably do with the spy as well, but we really want to try and facilitate trade eventually with other Greek city-states, the Etruscans if they survive, the Celts and various other stuff. We should be able to import pottery and wine and olives, while we can probably export metals, salted fish, and slaves, as it were. So let's get a secondary army here with my Uncle Theo. That's good. You don't quite often start with 2 generals from your family tree at some time. Probably can deal with a navy as well. So we're going to focus on the barbarian tribes firstly, and then we might talk about some history about Massilia once we get into a battle or two. Okay, Rome wants to negotiate a non-aggression pact. I think we'll sign that. Syracuse want trade. We shall look to accept as we speed on through. Okay, we've got a food shortage going on. We'll get those last few mercenaries. And let's have a look. I don't want to dive too much into trade and negotiations because I don't really want to anger various nations just yet. So let's move my spy in. We've declared war upon Narbo, and we're going to be going to war for the first time. Could get some more units. I could even move that navy up potentially as well. So we have 12 units here with Xenon, who for all intensive purposes is our king, although historically the Massilia political structure was actually ruled by an oligarchy, but I'll go into that in a bit. Let's move this secondary army up, and now that we are besieging Narbo, hopefully during the end turn phase they'll come out and attack us. We are playing as a Hellenic based faction in DEI, so we're incredibly strong on the defense and in defensive battles and settlements, not the best in offensive sieges. Okay, so during the end turn phase the Volcae have attacked. Oh wow, okay, so they do have a decent amount of numbers there. So they outnumber us 2-1. They have 4,000 barbarians against our 2,400 Greeks. Welcome to the battlefield. Let's set things up. So we've got our famous hoplites, or soon to be. We're going to try and redline camp here. We are outnumbered 2-1, so it's not advantageous to move right into the middle of the battlefield to defend. And I think we can use the coast down here as well. Got skirmishers, and we also have some cavalry as well. There seems to be some really nice lightly forested area there. And then we'll move Xenon back. And we'll form up into a defensive position and hold with our hoplites. So early on, as we look to slowly but surely expand into Gaul, we're going to be heavily outnumbered against these Celtic and barbarian tribes, as France and Gaul, might use both interchangeably, is flooded with barbarians. But it would have been kind of cool to see like this alternate timeline if Iberia or potentially France was Hellenized before the Romans rocked up. So that's what I want to try and do. Bring Hellenic influence to France, which is easier said than done. I'm sure the Romans and maybe other Germanic and burgeoning powers will look to try and stop us. Okay, let's move my navy up here for a quick little engagement. So Massilia historically had a quite unique political structure. I think we'll talk about some history now as the battle rages. So it was initially ruled by an oligarchy, which held power by the wealth of the merchants and landowners. Later, it shifted to a democratic system with a council of citizens and elected officials. So, as our ships are engaging here, defending our coast. Oh, I might have stuffed up here. They got a little bit too close. I should have ideally skirmished them a little bit further back. Now, historically, with some of the neighbouring factions, particularly the Gauls. Massilia had interactions with them, both peaceful and hostile, with the indigenous tribes. At times they were allied with various Gaulish cohorts against other Greek colonies and against invaders. Also, Carthage, they didn't have the best relations when Hannibal pushed over the Alps. Massilia's relationship with Rome evolved over time as well. Initially, it maintained independence and often served as an ally to Rome in its conflict against Carthage. However, tensions arose during the expansion in the region, leading to the siege of Massilia in 49 BCE during the Roman Civil War between Gaius Julius Caesar and Pompey. Massilia is just a really cool city. Like, it's in such a hub for cultural exchange. It really did serve as a crossroads where Greeks, Etruscans, Romans, and Celts sort of culturally mingled, changing ideas, goods, and people in this enriched city. So hopefully we can have like the core Greek front line of heavily armored hoplites. We could probably have some barbarian auxiliary, and maybe we can get some, I don't know, maybe some Roman equites want to come up. Vilites. It did have a sharp economic decline during Rome's rise, as trade routes did sort of change when they expanded to far other parts of the Mediterranean when Egypt and stuff opened up. Supposedly there's a bunch of archaeological remains of Massilia in, obviously, modern day Marseille, including city walls, temples, houses, and artifacts throughout the city. I would love to see it in real life. I haven't actually been to Marseille, but let me know in the YouTube comments if you've actually been there and seen some of the ancient Hellenic and Roman influences. But as of this day, Marseille is the second largest French city and sits on the site of ancient Massilia and has its own new modern history and rich culture. Okay, we're slowly but surely winning this naval engagement now. We've managed to swing things back. So we just had to focus on this navy coming in. We didn't want it to swing around and expose our defensive position. We're taking a 300 Thermopylae strat, putting our back towards the cliffs there, as the Volcae slowly but surely move into a closer position. So as the Volcae slowly but surely move on in to engage us in battle, I thought, why not, let's talk about a brief history with them. The Volcae were initially a part of a larger Celtic peoples who likely originated from Central Europe. They're among a numerous number of Celtic tribes that spread across Europe during the Celtic migrations, settling in various regions. The Volcae were known for their mobility and propensity for migration. They established various settlements in areas including modern-day France, Germany, Austria, and Spain. The Volcae were divided into distinct subgroups, and this particular Volcae tribe we're talking about came into contact with the expanding Roman Republic during the 2nd and 1st century BCE. They were involved in various conflicts with Rome, including the Gallic Wars led by Gaius Julius Caesar. Eventually Gaul, including the territories of the Volcae, were conquered by the Romans and incorporated into the Roman Empire. So we want to try and conquer them as Massilia before the Romans rock up. Hopefully before they unite all of Italy. So with the Romans and their conquest of Gaul, the Volcae gradually were assimilated, like most other peoples, into Roman society. They adopted Roman customs, language, and the governance structure. Their distinct tribal identity eventually faded over time as they became an integrated part of the Gallo-Roman culture in France. The decline of the Western Roman Empire, fast forwarding now, and the subsequent migrations and invasions in Europe further contributed to their dispersal and transformation of Celtic peoples, including the Volcae. Despite their assimilation and eventual disappearance, a distinct tribal identity, the Volcae, like other Celtic tribes still left a lasting impact on the region and their inhabitants. Their culture influenced linguistic contributions, and remnants of their material culture can still be studied today in present times. So I hope you enjoyed some short history about the Volcae. Let me know if there's any history you would like to share in the comments. Okay, so they're eventually coming on in, still sitting in our defensive position, still outnumbered 2-1. We can focus in on the game a little bit, but I think we'll go back and forth talking about various history in this time period, as the battles in DEI are long, protracted, and bloody, which is what you like. DEI is slow and meticulous, just that added realism to Rome too. Okay, we will deploy our cavalry at some point when it's advantageous to us, but we're in a super strong defensive position, as you can see here, with our back towards the cliffs, as the Volcae look to expel us from their land. Skirmishers, make sure our peltasts are on guard mode. We've activated all the defensive positions. We do have some archers as well, making up that mercenary contingent. Yeah, we might be able to get more ethnically Greek archers to ultimately help us out. But I was just showing before some of the units zoomed in. They looked absolutely fantastic. Just speed things up slightly. We've wasted a good 15 minutes in battle or so. But our brave hoplites are going to try and hold the line against the barbarian scourge. The barbarians in DEI are actually relatively strong as a faction on the battlefield. Their chosen swordsmen are something to be careful of and fearful. And the barbarian cavalry is exquisite, so we have to watch out for them. Their general seems to be isolated, so we might be able to move our cavalry up. Our archers here. Okay, I did have them on a flammable shot, but maybe I'm better off to go with a standard with the increased hit points. Our peltasts aren't in range. Now, unfortunately, they seem to have skirmisher range on us. We might need to advance and slightly move up here. Eventually, we want to try and get better quality skirmishers. As we're Greek, we have peltasts. We don't have the Roman vietes, obviously. Okay, we might have an opportunity here to go after their general unit, but it's a heavy phalanx unit of 200. Crikey. Now, in Rome and medieval too, the generals tend to sit on the left side of the bodyguard. In Rome too, they sit in the center. So we'll try and just skirmish them where we can. Our cavalry has a small amount. Okay. Ugh. We just need to move up, not too close, but we just need to skirmish them out. Alright. So we're going to try and pin down their general in place. We might get super lucky and be able to get rid of him. But as a heavy phalanx unit there, I don't know. Skirmishing will do. Our general has fallen. Really? Uh-oh. That must have been the naval captain that we brought on in. So they've got 2 units coming up here. We're just trying to skirmish back against them. Our hoplites will be able to withstand and deal with some of the skirmisher fire. Our peltasts are moving up. They seem to not want to move. Okay, so we've managed to kill a good 70 there. Charging in with our mercenary cav. Okay, so as you saw there, I just halted before we charged. So we're not going head on. I just basically wanted to make sure they fully faced that unit. And they didn't turn. Okay. Are they starting to move up here? We just have to be wary of that. Those reinforcements are coming on in. Although we've managed to get rid of 90, we haven't got the RNG of sniping the enemy general. Okay, looks like they were going to move up, but they're not. We're just going to take our time here, be slow and methodical with our approach. As, although we're only facing the Volcae here, which are one tribe in Narbo. Interesting, the settlement is named after the Roman general Narbo. But that's a minor digression. We're going to have to be at relatively strong strength and not be too weak from a potential Tolossa invasion. But yeah, let me know in the comments where you'd like me to expand and conquer. I think our sort of short victory conditions that I want to set out, which is going to take us maybe 100 turns. It could take us a week or so, 4 or 5 parts, to fully annex, convert modern day France into a Hellenic haven. I like the sound of that. Move out the barbarians, unite it, and then be prepared for Caesar if he ever comes that way. Okay, so we're going to hit them from the side here now. Rotate. But it's going to be interesting to see how Rome does in this series. We could rush them and get rid of them. I think if you're playing as Massilia and not doing this Hellenic kingdom roleplay that we're sort of doing, you might actually be better off to just go headstrong into the Italian peninsula. Then you're closer to the Greek colonies. But it's going to take quite an investment to bring all of France under ethnic Greek rule. But yeah, I can't wait to see how this series develops. If we can set up a provincial Greek system, we'll be laughing. But then we got to watch out for the Iceni to the north. They might want to stop this kingdom being formed. They might want to try and claim territory in Normandy and Brittany. We got the Germanic tribes as well. Once a power vacuum opens up with the Celtic tribes getting crushed, they could come in. So we are. We've also got the Celto-Iberians to the south, and then Rome. I'm sure the Gaetuli and the Retii won't be too happy seeing their barbarian comrades fall, as we're still focusing on the general here. And then we've got Rome itself, so it can be a tricky campaign. Nice, we've managed to kill the enemy general here. That should massively help us. So we're going to try not to overextend, but at the moment, because we're such a small colony and there's not too many ethnic Greeks, we're going to have to be really, really careful unit-wise not to lose too many in these upcoming battles. So we're going to have to fight offensively taking territory, but defensively on the battlefield. Okay, we're going to try and go for their very light spearmen here, which are like 300 apiece. As long as we're not too stuck in long inactive combat, we should be okay. Okay, some of them are wavering now. Nice. The main army hasn't really, well, hit our front line. Our skirmishers have done alright. Relatively. They just took so long to get there. Fatigue, exhaustion is massive in DEI. It's something you really should keep an eye on. Okay. Just trying to cycle charge here. I don't really want to lose too much of my cavalry, but a lot of these are mercs. So they're definitely going to try and earn their pay grade. Well, we get rid of them. We don't have to pay them. Hey. But it's good to be back on Total War Rome 2. And getting back into the swing of things. So, really focusing on this series over the next week or so. So, expect a lot of uploads for this Massilia campaign. We've got a clear objective, conquering all of modern day France, which is easier said than done. But depending on how built up we are, we could, I don't know, maybe set up some more overseas colonies. It's just so cool that in Rome 2, there's just so many Greek territories in far-flung areas. Like, Rome is like an S-tier faction. They're just so good. Their armor, attack stats, their skirmish and range is just overpowered as. Then I would say, like, B-tier, or A-tier, if it's S-tier. The Greeks, I like playing as Greek factions in DEI. Although the barbarians are really good, I don't know. I guess it'd be fun doing a Germanic Empire, but I don't know. I like to bring civilization to the provinces. Okay, let's move up here. Because we played as Chimeria last year, Crimea. Done a fair few series on DEI for Rome 2. Armenia and whatnot. I still haven't done a Parthia series. I think that'd be quite fun. I'm not too sure if I should do that on vanilla or maybe on Imperator Augustus, because Parthia is a little bit more built up. Okay, so unfortunately that charge gave us a massive casualty, right? Time-wise, we're still looking pretty good. We are going to win this fight. I can't see us losing this ultimately from this position. I would have liked my cavalry for the next battle, but we'll be okay. Early on, we started off with a bunch of cash, so it's fine to put it into mercenaries. The population mechanic is what we're going to be concerned with a little bit, because we're not going to be able to get, well, essentially Massilia and ethnic Greek hoplites, because there's not too many of them. Alright, here they come. Here come the barbarians. Axes and swords, wielding high, as their war cry sounds out. But here we go. The brave Hellenic hoplites holding the front line on the beach there. A little bit bloodied and battered from skirmish fire. Hold the line. I love the art on their shields. It looks fantastic. Okay. I do need to remember to give out some attack orders as well. But we're holding in a nice strong position. I will move my peltasts up, although they're out of ammunition. They can draw their short swords and help out. Just to give some protection, because they're like kind of swinging around there, which is a little bit annoying, but so be it. Okay, some of us are advancing, but I feel like they're probably exhausted enough that they're not really going to pack a punch. Yeah, this guy is literally bald and has a woven shield. We are just outmatching them. Okay, looking at the casualties sustained for those particular units, we lost like a 2% there, but overall, our hoplites are just incredibly well equipped. Defensive positions is where they're going to be best at. Yeah. So as we slowly start to conquer barbarian settlements and incorporate it into our burgeoning republic, we're going to need to defend said settlements. I think we're better off to just try and convert them into trade, market, mercantile settlements as quickly as possible. If we can get these narrow city streets where we can just pack with hoplites, that's what I want to be doing. But we are using a bunch of submods for this series, so my DEI will look different to yours. Rome Extravaganza, Water, UI. Well, the armor looks so good and clean. Look at him holding the line. Auga. So good. Massilia is like a really cool color as well. They got a really cool sigil. A lion. Sitting out. I wonder if I can try and get my general around, actually. I might be able to sneak him through there. Sometimes you can slink it around. And then you can just start cycle charging. Come on. Move to here. But I'm back recording content at the moment. So expect a bunch of uploads throughout May and June. It's winter here in Australia. Coming into it. It's getting nice and cold. Well, I guess it's not quite winter. Technically, but I live in Tassie, so it's cold as all the time. Okay, so they're trying to move some units out here. We'll have to be a little bit careful here with my general. We don't want our faction leader to die in the first fight. Okay, so now we need to get going. Okay, so that's probably nearly 15% with one of those. So we need to get him out and start cycle charging. Yes, there we go. Let's get the hammer and anvil swinging. Yeah. When I was looking to series to do, I was craving another Rome 2 DEI campaign, like Let's Play wise. I didn't realize that I've never played as Massilia. I was a little bit shocked. Nice. Oh, and they're about to be in a full retreat. Once they fully capitulate, we'll try and run down as many of them as we can. Try and take as many slaves. We might even be able to sell them to Rome. And we'll get a burgeoning slave economy and industrial base going.
The battle is turning in our favor.
Nearly. Give out some attack orders here. The battle is turning in our favor. Perfect, we have victory. Let's continue on. And let's end the battle there. Alright, we only lost 900. We managed to take 2,400 of them. Wow. 747. With the general unit. Crikey. Close victory, though, supposedly. We did lose the one cav. And then the general unit on the navy. Oh, that might complicate things, because he was from another political family and entity. Okay. We'll try and look to bring in someone else in. Thalus. Nicomedes. Sounds cool. Eurybites. Okay. Right, let's move those reinforcements in. And we should, in theory, be able to get a good order resolve now in Narbo, I think. Move you back to get more additional reinforcements in. Yeah, so at the moment, because of the DEI culture and population cap, we can't currently recruit Massalian hoplites because we just simply don't have the people. We do not have the pop. Okay, so we're going to run down the last of the Volcae tribe here that fled from the battle. A decisive victory now. Oh, we lost that other cavalry unit. Okay, that's something to keep an eye on. We could loot for 10k, which is quite a bit, but we want to incorporate this territory as quick as we can, as the Volcae have now officially been destroyed here in Narbo. We'll look to break down some of these ports. We will need to fix our food situation, but luckily we will be able to get interior territory soon to get farms going. And coastal, we can rely on a consistent and reliable fish and sea food resource, I suppose. Get the crabs and the delicious crustaceans coming on in. Heard dolphin is delicious. And seals. Alrighty, I think it's time to dive back into diplomacy now that we're opening up a little bit. We found the Dorsii. We don't want to find too many factions. You kind of want to be hidden in DEI to some extent. basically there's a cost-benefit analysis. Obviously, the more factions you can find, you can potentially trade with, but then there's more factions that would be really angry with you. Okay, we're in a really bad food situation, so we need to get that fixed quick before we look to move on to Tolosa. Alright, welcome to the top of the turn. It looks like the Etruscans are now dead. I think we want to try and go with Civic. We could go with Tech. The thing is, we haven't encountered like really bad military setbacks. For example, with the Romans and the Greeks, they're an S and A tier faction, so early on we should be okay units wise. It's not like we're really struggling on the military front. So we could go into Civic quite a bit. We want to try and get a full stack here with faction leader Xenon. And we also want to try and get this food situation secure. We'll look to move north to Tolosa to get access to the olive tree groves. And we can look to trade that out and then bring all of this province under our control directly. Okay, nothing else we can do here. We hold 60%, and we are technically a republic. Oh, so it says we're not an oligarchy. Oh, I thought we were. Well, historically we were. Interesting. Maybe it's switched at this point once you start the campaign. Okay, let's try and sabotage Tolosa as we go against the other Volcay tribe, which I said was split. Okay. I did mention, obviously, in the history, there was various subgroups and those that have split. Alright, let's end the turn and continue. Okay, still have a food shortage, -1 now. So, just have to be a little bit concerned in that. Can we somehow switch this to... Oh, Massilia is a unique port. Kind of like Carthage, it seems. Okay, so we can't seem to get food from there. Can't get any more mercenaries. We probably have exploited the goodwill a little bit. I want to try and get a secondary army with Theo. Okay. Unfortunately, the Volcay and Tolosa, or the Volcay of Tolosa, are building up. They're recruiting more by the day. Can we do another subterfuge? No. Unfortunately, this was not successful. I think I might actually attack them. Yeah, we're going to do it. And just to stop the recruitment. Okay. And we'll siege. The thing is, they might out-recruit us. So we'll move in to stop that, and then we'll recruit with the secondary army. I don't think we're going to get attacked, so we'll move you around here as we continue to siege. Okay, so they have attacked me here now. The Volcay of Tolosa. Ooh, we're actually outnumbered a bit more. Okay. By an extra 1,000. Yikes. Alright, let's fight this one upon the battlefield. Okay, similar situation, I think. We want to try and redline and corner camp. Okay, that's a bit better. Ooh. I think I want to go to this side. Now, my thought process on either of the two is less foliage, less disruption. We can probably put our cavalry here. So we're going to redline camp, particularly when we're outnumbered, and we've only got a limited number of units. I know, it's cheesy and cheeky, but we are playing not vanilla at the end of the day. We are playing DEI, which makes the battles even more difficult. And we've got to pick and choose our fights properly. At the end of the day as well, we are using a Hellenic based faction, so we need to be more defensively minded. We're not playing as Egypt and whatnot that are a little bit Hellenic based in Rome too, but they have like mobility, we don't have too much. Although we've got peltasts in our build, they ain't the best. I'm not gonna lie. I thought they would have performed a little bit better in that last fight. But hey, so be it. It happens. Okay, let's move into our position. Form on up and hopefully try and eliminate this Volcay tribe. And then we've managed to secure and control a large swath of southern France. But here they come. The barbarians are once again at the gates. This time going against Greek culture and Hellenic Massilia. So last time it took the Volcay and the Barbs so long to come on in before they properly engaged us. So I might speed things up in the editing process. So I'll skip ahead, I think, here now. It's going to take a while before they get here. Okay. So they are really close to us now. They're probably within striking range. Are these guys just going to come straight up into me? They do have an extra 1,000 to throw. Okay, are they going to go with a cavalry charge, are they? Okay, so we're going to put some skirmisher fire there. They're going to try and slink around because we are redlining and they can sometimes go through it. Oh, nice. They're just throwing their cavalry carelessly into our fortified front line. That's fantastic to see. Alright, here they come. We'll get my cavalry now to engage. Try and general snipe. One of our hoplites has taken a little bit of battering. I think that's potentially from that cavalry charge. Yikes. Okay. We lost 800 before. We have managed to recuperate some of our losses. Oh no, we've actually got a unit routing there. Yeah. Although it said a normal difficulty, I don't know if I disagree with that. Like Parthia is hard, some of the other ones. I feel like it's easy to throw this particular campaign if you're not careful.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
Okay. So a lot of these guys seem to be a lot more lightly armored than the previous Volcay tribe. Okay, just trying to cycle charge, harass and parry their skirmishers at the back here. Come on, brave. Well, they're brave barbarians, exactly. I'm going to say brave Hellenic sons, but no, these are the auxiliaries. Yeah, I think that's what I want to do. If we can have a core Hellenic front line, as you can see, they are incredibly strong, resilient, and resourceful in holding the front, and we'll allow our mercenaries to do most of the work and heavy lifting. It's really quite cool, the unit roster. We won't have access to some of like the far eastern Hellenic factions. I guess they're technically different. Cameria and Colchis. I haven't actually played as Colchis before, actually ever. I kind of forget that they're a faction. What are they like? They're kind of like Georgia, aren't they? Technically. Roughly in that Caucasus region. That might be fun. I feel like they move into Pergamon territory a little bit too much though. Okay, my cavalry has seen better days. But yeah, I'm currently looking to record a bunch of Total War campaigns after my little break. So let me know. Who do you want me to play as in Medieval 2? We might go back to SSHOP. Maybe Stainless Steel. I'm not too sure. Maybe I'm craving some Empire Darth mod as well. Let's Plays, of course. With the occasional stream here and there. Talking about the history and stuff and whatnot. I do quite like that. Maybe when we encounter other notable factions, we can talk about the history of them. Okay, I've just completely botched my cavalry there.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful.
Okay, but this seems to be working. Really min-maxing our effectiveness. Strong, long front line. No triple axis formation. We're using the army build we have at our disposal to its like a most optimal efficiency. Corner camp, red line camp. Hold the line. We are getting some pretty cool cinematic shots here. Wow. As we're holding back. But so far, yeah, what's this? 10,000 barbarians in these two tiny settlements. They just outnumber us. But once we get Greek populace booming, we'll send out envoys across the Mediterranean that, hey, we're building a new homeland. We'll try and make, I don't know, Massilia like the Tales of Atlantis. That'd be fun. Okay, I want to try and get my general around to cycle charge. Oh! It's a big bloody animation there. Fierce fighting is breaking out. As unfortunately, one of my Massilian hoplite units has capitulated. I think it's because they got wrapped slightly. They're getting pushed on their flanks, which is disappointing. Alright, trying to hold still. Yeah, I think we could lose this actually if we're not careful. They just have the numbers on us. Oh, the enemy general is dead. That's really good. That'll help us out significantly. Okay. Yeah, I don't know if we can get around. I'm just a bit wary as we're getting hoplite units capitulating. I was really praising and talking up how good the barbarian cavalry and swordsmen are, but although their slingers aren't the best, they've just got a lot of them at the moment. So the pure volume of them, even on the low tier, is being quite effective. But sometimes numbers, sheer mass and volume, can be the deciding factor. Okay, my center seems to be holding, but they seem to be focusing on the flanks like a lot, which seems to probably be a better strategy. We've got another unit somewhat capitulating. Oh, okay, they're hitting me on an off angle there. Not the best. Okay, how's the health of everyone? Everyone's still sitting and maintaining their position. Can I try? Maybe I can slink through here. Oh, hang on. I'm looking for sides. We can just go straight through. It's a little bit cheesy. We're phasing through the front line there. Our general's under attack, that's fine. Okay, so for some reason they've let that open. Okay, men, move to the side. To the left, hoplites. Everything you own to the box to the left. They're getting kicked out of their home. What a song. Mariah Carey, I think. Anyway, let's focus on those skirmishers that have been a massive pain. He is at 50% strength, so it is a little bit risky doing this. But you gotta risk it for the biscuit. Okay. Nice. Solid charge. Very, very light missile infantry, these Gallic slingers. They've now been crushed. Let's pivot and move to the secondary unit there. And then we'll start cycle charging there. I think we'll go for the lights. Okay. And we'll try and focus on the large chunk. Let's swing around. Oh my god. Were they wavering before? Oh, a lot of them are shaking now. Oh, we got them. Although there's a lot of units still maintaining. I think it's because we killed their general a while ago. Okay, let's move down to this pocket. Okay, we actually might have slightly higher casualties in this particular battle than what I would ideally like, but whatever. Let's go again. To be fair, we do have his uncle, so there's not going to be a succession crisis if Xenon was to meet an unfortunate end, as it were.
By your command. Engage!
Okay. Ooh, this is still going to be a little bit close. Yeah. I do think it was best to be a little bit offensive in our approach. Yeah, I think letting them build up any more would be an issue. We kind of forced them a bit. Alright, let's zoom in and get a cinematic shot. These brave sons of Massilia are pushing on in. Is that an Australian thing? Massilia. Oh yeah, me and the boys went down south to Massilia. Maybe that's it. Instead of Massilia. As long as you know what I'm talking about. Doesn't really matter, innit? I don't know why I went British though. Alright. And they've capitulated. Perfect. Let's run them down. Close victory again. Okay, 1.2k there lost. As we skip on through. Man, I love DEI, but the loading times. Okay, so once again, our cavalry has been, well, vaporized, you could say. Food shortage still. Now, will we have enough to take this settlement now? We do have a homestead. We want to eventually pivot that to a farm, I think. And starvation didn't help our numbers. I can't get any mercs. If I move in, will that help? Even with that unit, it might give us a better auto resolve slightly. Ooh, okay. We've got 1.6. That's because we're starving. They've still got a decent amount. Actually, we might need to siege them out again. We'll move back to try and recruit some more units. Ideally, Massilia and hoplites. Damn. Although we just won the battle there in Tolosa, because our food situation is so bad, we can't push on that last final push to take the settlement because the attrition has just been too high. It might happen again. Oh, what? Oh, unbelievable scenes. The burgeoning Roman Republic has attacked us. Oh, they went from a green to an orange. Maybe there was a script. And we've been attacked. Well, look, you know what? We're going to leave that on a cliffhanger. We've played for over an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours here today. Once I edit this down, this should be like an hour-long part. But unfortunately, guys, got to wrap things up. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed the first episode of the Massilia DEI Divide et Impera Let's Play. We're going to continue to finish off the last of the Volcae here and finally take Tolosa in the next episode. We are now at war with the Roman Republic, which is massive. Yeah, it must be a script that we've gotten so big. We might have to look to ally with the Carthaginians potentially, but we'll see. So massive cliffhanger. Stay tuned for episode 2 coming out tomorrow, where we will deal with the Romans, I guess. I just hope they don't launch a mass invasion fleet on our port city. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the first episode and the history and whatnot. Like, subscribe, all that good YouTube stuff. Massive thank you to the YouTube members and patrons. Means a lot. Alright guys, make sure to take care of yourselves. Have a fantastic rest of your day. My name has been Simpzy, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much.